What's the importance of responsibility in regards to your awakening, in regards to you being a conscious human being and having the things you want in your life and the stressful stuff not? So I'm Jason for AwakenedEssence.com. I'm going to say some stuff here regarding responsibility, what it is for you to take a look at and decide for yourself. It's one of these topics that can be quite testing, because self-responsibility is a core thread if you actually want to awaken and come home to yourself, to reach that enlightened place. And with all my videos, we'll practice as I talk. So whatever you're doing, be it at home or driving or somewhere, be aware of your hands. Feel your tummy, your breathing. Just notice what it was doing. You actually don't have to change it. Just being aware of your breathing will allow it to shift to a more relaxed place if it's to do that. If you've been stressed, you'll notice that stress in your torso and your body, your lungs, your chest, your tummy. Be aware of your backside and your pelvic floor. So you're down on the base of your being. That way you can disidentify from the chattering up here. Awakening is about discovering who you are, and that has an impact on the concept of what is responsibility, because only you can actually work out who you are, which means you have to be responsible for that. And that means, what's your responsibility towards? So again, be aware of your hands, the space in your body. So we're just being aware of the physical sensations. Yeah, I'll tutor you through as I talk, bounce back and forth. And as you're aware of that space inside your body, because it's various places, right? You can obviously aware of your head, you can see the screen, whatever's going on. And as you breathe inside, you can feel the physical sensations, and then the energetics of your neurology, your body, the hot and the cold, and the buzz of your hands. Notice how your hands always tend to feel quite different to everywhere else in your body, because we put so much attention and so much sensation through our hands. That's why it's a good one. Depending on your levels of practice and your levels of awakening, you'll feel that sense of spaciousness under that. And then from that, you might start accessing the nothingness that's everywhere but nowhere. And that is the core of who you are. And as you awaken more and more, you learn that that is your identity. I think that's where this conversation is going. So in terms of responsibility, you are responsible if you want to awaken, which is what this website's about. You need to do what it takes for you to realize the only thing you're responsible to is, are you aware of who you are? Are you aware of your presence? Check in, feel. Is it still there? Did you maintain it while I talked? This is how it's measurable. Did you lose it? Did you pass judgments about where I am or what I'm doing or who I am or how my cap is or whatever? Or has your mind gone off to thinking about what you're having for lunch? Come back to your hands, back to your torso. And notice the space. The physical space, the inner space, the no space. That's what you're responsible for. The trick with being a human is you have a personality, you have an ego, you have a character, you have behaviour patterns, you have belief systems, and belief systems are very necessary. They're the software. I've got operating software 8 on that phone. It's a new phone. So it got upgraded because it was a 7. So we do this with ourselves as we come more into awakening, we come more into the presence, the stillness, and you establish that through your life. in more and more situations. It's measurable. How often do you practice and feel that nothingness? That's your responsibility. If you want to awaken, it's your only responsibility. I'm not talking about responsibility for children and parents and society and all that other stuff. That's curly topics there, so I'm staying away from those. Your responsibility is for you to consciously choose. Guess what? Did you do it? Feel. Look at this screen you're looking at. Notice what's going on behind me as we hear the train come past. So the train is, noise is. Notice the noise. So as a person doing a video, I would love silence, just the sounds of the birds and me. But I decided to do it next to the train line. So I was aware of my stillness and my space as that went through, and if you saw the train, then I didn't cut it out. So my responsibility is to be here for myself and be here for this video. Your responsibility in your life, and this is for you to examine, because what I share on this website, you could call it a teaching. I could call it a mentoring, where I say what I know has worked for me and you check it out for yourself. And examine these things so you compare that to what other people say, the other books you've read, what your current teacher or religion says. If you want to come home to God, which is what you are, God is the nothingness. In the beginning there was nothing, then there was the Word, then there was noisy kids. So noises are. They happen. Responsibility is, am I here? Am I here? Am I here? So that's what we do. As you deepen into that, what naturally happens is your character, your personality, your belief systems, they all get undone and you change. You change as a person. Some stuff doesn't change. Bugger. Lots of me that I would prefer would have changed. Other people agree with that. So anyway, this is me. This is what you get. You get swear words, you get soft sarcasm and jokes and giggles. I'm responsible to be here. And because I was passionate about that, passionate, and there's a Godard's word, earnest. Eckhart Tolle's word, practice, practice, practice. To be here, to be aware of that space, that presence, the aliveness, and then the nothingness that's under all of that, is why I came home permanently to unbreakable stillness, presence, in 5 years. And there's a Godard, it took 3. I haven't talked to enough teachers to find out how they did it or how fast, but it's in there in their language. So your responsibility in terms of your awakening, your presence, and the outcomes of that, which is peace, bliss, yumminess. And as it establishes, it changes into joy. You laugh at nothing. I'd laugh at paint drying. There's giggles there. Even when there's crap going on. By crap I mean, yeah, the unpleasant stuff. Interactions with flatmates or families, friends, partners, all that sort of thing. You can have the peace and the joy and the bliss there while that's happening. That's your responsibility, is to be aware of that nothingness so it can hold the container for you to endure being a human being. That's what awakening enlightenment is that nothingness that lets you be there in every circumstance. That allows you to endure the dramas and the blessings of being a human being. Hands. Feel your pelvic floor. your legs, feet, if you can. As you practice, you get better and better and faster and faster. After 6 years of non-stop presence, stillness, bliss, peace, call it what you like, I actually found myself unable to remember what it's like to be separated. I actually can't remember. I have to ask people what it's like. So I do these videos hoping you understand them. So if there's something you don't understand, if you can do, write a paragraph or something explaining and try and be a little bit precise or point out what you don't understand, I'll do more videos and I'll let you know. Or come into mentoring. Make it fast. Why would you want to suffer? Yes, you still feel all those human things in life. I've had them today, frustrations, and I've also had blessings. But it's nicer when you have the nothingness that you are, your presence, that yummy peace, or just the stillness, which means you're not associated into your mind, associated into your emotions, associated into the drama where you're lost in it. You are this entire space, which is everything, but also nothing. It's not a head concept. It's not a head concept. You can think this and it's not real. A lot of people get stuck there, which is unfortunate. Responsibility. You are responsible for that primarily, in terms of what I talk about on this website. The human stuff, and this is where I might start treading on toes, but it's for you to look at and decide for yourself. Certain teachers will say, don't do this, don't do that. The Bible says, don't do this, do that. All the religious texts of every major religion on this planet will give you guidelines as to what to do. They're there for good intent, to give you guidance. Because what happens as you deepen more and more into the layers of awakening, I used to use the phrase back in 2013, the escalator of responsibility. That you'll find as you awaken more, there are things you just can't do. Doesn't mean you turn into a saint. You may still behave like an unpleasant person. Some people tell me that, so I still do that. The stillness is there with it. Back to your hands, the space, hear the birds. I'm just hearing what that noise was because I'm right next to a creek and there'll be snakes. Deadly ones. You always got to watch what's rustling here in Australia because everything is out to kill you. Back to the space. So those guidelines, don't eat this, don't drink that, don't take that, they're there for a reason, up to you. Your responsibility is primarily, am I here with it? Do what works for you in a way that hopefully maintains you in the best light. For instance, eating. I can't do carbs, I eat meat. Tried vegetarianism. I was floating up where Pluto is. I was that far out of my body. So I have to physically eat meat, protein, dairy. My responsibility is for me to hold the presence and the stillness for you, for my, well, primarily for me, those around me, this website, and all of humanity. Because that assists the morphogenic resonance, the consciousness field of this planet to make it easier for everybody else. And hopefully stops the yuckier stuff from happening, although there's a lot of that on the planet right now. But when we know what the bad is, we've experienced the bad, what does that do? Ooh, I don't like that. It allows you to change your behaviour patterns, it allows you to change your focus. So the bad stuff happens for a reason. Just like we lose our unity and become separated and feel the pain and want to come home, which is why you're watching me rambling on. So you're responsible, hopefully, for being here. Hands, space, body, yummies. Can you feel the yummies? It's my word for it. We can call it bliss. Whatever. It's here. You become more and more accustomed to it until you realise it is you. And what is you? The space and the nothingness. The no person, the no I, the no chooser, the no doer. But you are responsible for choosing. You are responsible for enacting your practice to be here, to be here, to be here. Especially when things are pleasant, easy or nice. Because it's a muscle. Your training for Earth's longest marathon is called Enlightenment. This is why so few people manage it, right? You're going to the Olympics, the Awakening Olympics, or Mount Olympus, or Mount Sedona, or wherever you want to go, Arunachala. You build that muscle up, it becomes habit, and works through the layers of your consciousness. Your responsibility is to that, for you to action it, for you to choose it, for you to do it. Don't expect a guru to give it to you, because you are still responsible for choosing it for yourself. They can help. Their energies certainly help, because they're holding that vibration for you, and that's part of the laws of grace. That'll be in the laws of grace course when it gets up. Their vibration assists you to get your practice into deeper and deeper levels. That's why you do mentoring or hang out with the teachers when they come into town and just go and enjoy their stillness, their experience, because they all feel different, they all hold different qualities. As do sacred places and sacred religious spots and various other places where people maintain various practices to assist. Here comes another train. So we practice, allowing it to be. Feeling the space. Notice the noise comes through a space. Choose, choose, choose. Responsibility, it's a biggie. With that responsibility comes one of the other core laws of grace. Self-honesty. Always check in. Always check in. Always check in. Am I being really honest about my practice? Can I do better? Use your personality and your personality drive to be happy, to have less crap in your life as your driver. It'll bring you home fast. You can do it in 5 years, easy, easy peasy, to permanent enlightenment if you practice. It undoes your programming. People can say, I heard one of my favourite teachers the other day say something about divine timing. Yeah, it is divine timing. You don't have these things undone until you're ready. So how do you get yourself ready? Now I'm getting raised up. You get ready by undoing and learning how to undo. You do the training. Then you can do it. You can't, after you've sat on the couch for 3 months, you can't put your running shoes on and run a marathon. Especially if you want to do it in less than 6 hours. Can you? So divine timing knows you're ready, because divine timing knows, God knows, everything knows, your nothingness knows, your unconscious systems, your protection mechanisms are there to help keep you safe. But as you work through the stuff, these peel back until it peels back so much you become the hugeness that's nothing, that's everywhere, that permeates. Are you feeling that as you listen to this? Because I certainly am. And you learn to handle that because you're responsible. You learn to handle that when you're in town, when you're in a supermarket, when you're in a bus or a train, when an ant's biting you, or you're drunk, or you're watching TV. It's measurable. Do you click into your presence while you're watching TV or a video on YouTube or mucking around on Facebook or Instagram or whatever you do? YouTube? The internet. You're seeing this on the internet, I know that for sure. So before you watch this, did you practice? Were you aware? Did you keep checking in? Responsibility. Stuff happens in life. Yes, I'm responsible for being here. First, stillness. Then, okay, how do I deal with this situation? What's my part in it? How did this happen? How did I create my reality, man? Personal will versus thy will, God's will. Now there's another topic. It's a fun topic. What's the nothingness? Is that a person? Does it have a choice? Some of us have good karma, some of us have bad karma. Some of it's just created because that's just what life throws at us because Mercury's in retrograde and it's squaring Saturn that's conjuncting the Sun, whatever. Who knows? Research it for yourself. It's quite interesting. So what's your responsibility? Were you practicing as I talked about astrology then, and what's your views on it? Who knows? I don't know if any of it's true. It's certainly amusing to watch. Gives the mind something to think about. Can help explain maybe why you feel crap on a certain day. It's like, what's going on? You can blame God because a rock is a certain place in relation to the sun and the earth. You are responsible for choosing to be here. Did you, as I said that? Feel. Actively be aware of your pelvic floor. Contract it. It's very good for your health, physical health, and your energy systems, and getting you so you're definitely beneath the mind, but also beneath, solar plexus, emotions, your identity. You're under it. You're in the root. Stable here, grounded. If you can do this and notice the space, you'll come home fast. Thinking space from here, you'll just be floating out in the ethers for many lifetimes. What your imagination tells you is irrelevant. Oh, Jesus turned up. When Jesus truly turns up, you will just burst into tears because of the overwhelming love. You'll realise how much of a plebe you are. Meeting an ascended master properly really just does that to you. The love is overwhelming, and you see everything. You see every little black spot on your soul. That's meeting an ascended master. Truly amazing. Anyway, spiritual stuff. Be here. That's what an ascended master is. They are here all the time. Be responsible and be here. So now that I've repeated myself 50 times, notice how your mind sits with that. Notice if that affects your practice. Do the success journal, the presence journal. Monitor. Well, so when the hard stuff in life happens, you can go back on your diary and go, yeah, I'm making progress. I'm coming back faster. Personality needs that. It gives you self-assurance. Because you still have a personality when you're permanently abiding in stillness, which is the enlightened place. So as we hear another train, I'm going to sign out. I'm Jason for AwakenedEssence.com. Notice the noise, it's all good. Even if it's a leaf blower by the neighbour. And all those things that get up your nose. Again, as always, if you need assistance, make contact. Come into mentoring, have a healing, whatever.